Edinburgh is Scotland's regional capital and one of the most charming cities in the world. Even if the entire city appears to be stuck in the 1600s, Edinburgh has all of the services you could want or need, the warm and welcoming Scottish people, and a unique balance of medieval and modern times. Your weekend getaway in one of the most northern European cities will be charming and relaxing all year round. Welcome back to Town Travel Tips. In today's video, we will tour Edinburgh for 48 hours, highlighting the best itinerary possible for a short stay and yet getting the most out of this charming and fascinating city. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already. Every like is crucial for us and a great sign of appreciation for all the work we put into every video. If you have already subscribed, this big hug just for you, handsome person. Without further ado, let's dive into our Scottish trip. Winters in Scotland can be harsh, so try to avoid a trip in January or February. Autumn is a good season for visiting the city instead. The build-up to Halloween will be evident in every street and shop in October. It will be Christmas time from November on, and the city will be decked out in bright colors and lights. While the autumn weather can be cold with snowfalls and longer nights due to Edinburgh's latitude, the happiness of Scottish people, local craft beers, and Scotch whisky will keep you warm. Summer and spring are the best seasons weather-wise, but even in July, do not expect a trip without at least a light jacket with you. Try to find accommodation close to the city center, which isn't big. Royal Mile and Castles areas are the most central, but you can easily walk from one end of the city to the other, so feel free to look for what fits your pockets. Our 48-hour trip will be split into two parts. Day 1 will focus on visiting the old town and the castle, and blending in with the very distinct vibe. On Day 2, we will move around the city, taste the best food Edinburgh can offer, and admire the mighty Nordic Sea from a little fisherman's village. Edinburgh Castle is one of Europe's oldest fortified structures. It has a long and rich history as a royal residence, military garrison, prison, and fortress, and is full of exciting stories. Climbing Castle Hill will put you in the footsteps of soldiers, kings and queens, and pirates. Buy your tickets in advance and get a guide who will drive you on a journey of 3,000 years long. Admire the view from the very top. A cannon fires a shot every day at noon, announcing the midday hour. Among the historical pieces held in these secret chambers, there are unique jewels of the British crowns, fabulous diamonds, diadems, and more. After the visit to the castle, have a quick lunch with one of the most traditional Scottish delicacies, smoked salmon. The meat of Scottish smoked salmon is wonderfully soft and buttery with an orange-pink color. It is arguably the most expensive salmon, though Norwegian smoked salmon is a close competitor. After lunch, walk from Castle to Dean Village. Dean Village was previously where water mills were milled, and remnants of this can still be seen by visitors. Various millstones and stone plaques decorated with baked bread and pies are hidden throughout the townlet. The Dean Bridge is a famous landmark on the water of Leith Walkway and is one of the most famous spots for Instagram pictures. Dean Village won't take you much time, so you'll be back on track for your next and final spot for the day, Calton Hill. Calton Hill is the hill that dominates Edinburgh and the other spot that is always portrayed in the pictures of the city. Climbing the hill will take 15 minutes, and you will be rewarded with a complete view of the old town and the Nordic Sea. It can be windy there, but you cannot leave Edinburgh without visiting the Dugald Stewart Monument, the city's symbol. The sun sets on Edinburgh and Day 1 slowly slips away, unless you are not visiting in June. In that case, sunlight can last up until 11 p.m., and by 3 a.m., the sun is already coming up. Earth is a truly wonderful place. Day 2 starts early with a typical Scottish breakfast. Porridge. If you don't like having a salty breakfast, porridge is the sweet alternative you are looking for. Porridge is the ideal breakfast for a hectic day of touring since it is warm, filling, and delicious. This oat-based bowl of happiness is cooked with milk and decorated with fruit, cream, jam, or even peanut butter. Nutritious and delicious. Take an Uber or public transport to Leith, a small fisherman's village located 10 kilometers north of Edinburgh. This little town is charming, but the reason you're here isn't the tiny houses, but rather the long beaches. Portobello Beach is the most famous beach in the area, and from here, you can witness the greatness of the Nordic Sea. The tides in the area are very impressive, so be careful, and do check when it is the best time to visit the sandy shores. Relax on the beach, having a craft beer with typical fish and chips. The chippy, as they call it, is one of the most traditional British dishes and is made of fresh fish breaded and fried with hot potatoes as a side. Quick and easy to eat, it will allow you to recharge the batteries for your last afternoon in Edinburgh. Head back to the city and stroll for the Royal Mile. Some activities, such as the Whisky Museum or the Ghost Tour in the spooky old alleys, might be left to do. Still, Edinburgh is a city where you can breathe the local vibe just by walking on its streets. Head to Victoria Street, which someone says has inspired Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter saga, and look at the charming houses and shops. Stop by a bagpipes artist performing the traditional song of the old Scottish clans and let the music relax you gently, surrounded by stony grey houses. The giant castle is observing yet another day passing from the top of the hill. For your last evening, you should try the traditional haggis for dinner. Haggis is a hearty winter supper served with turnips and potatoes. It is a meaty meal of minced heart, liver, lungs, onion, spices, and oats cooked in a sheep's stomach. If that is too much for you, it is possible to find a vegetarian version. Not as rich, but definitely lighter. After dinner, have a glass of authentic Scotch whisky at the Devil's Advocate Bar on the Royal Mile. Indulge in another comforting sip of liquor older than Scotland itself, and say hello to Edinburgh as a true local would do. Have you been to Edinburgh? Are you planning a trip to Scotland? Let us know in the comments section. We love hearing from you. If you fell in love with this city, check out our video on the best 5 foods to try in Edinburgh at the link below. Did you find this video helpful? Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe for more videos, and click that bell icon so you don't miss out on our following videos. Thank you for watching. Take care. Ciao!